Yo, yo, welcome back to our Super Metroid playthrough here at Trippy Commentaries. Retro Brett, we are getting towards the home stretch of the game. I think it's time you take on Ridley. And the way this game works, once you defeat Ridley, it's pretty much on to the grand finale.
Yeah, it's pretty fast after that. And shit, I definitely need some life here, man.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I like how in Metroid Prime it refills your life. Man, I wish they had that feature here in Super Metroid.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we'll find somewhere or somewhere. Let's see. Is there a secret in here?
Let's look around. Looks very suspect.
Thank
You guys who have joined us for the start of the playthrough and pretty much stuck with us throughout it. We've said many times this is an epic game, so it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to Retro Brett completing this. So far, he has a no death run. We'll see if he can finish it out.
Well, not to downplay my abilities, but in Super Metroid they really give you a shitload of life.
Yeah,
Unlike Prime, Prime they give you just enough.
there's some other games that, yes, might be quite a bit harder to no death, but Metroid, it has that feeling of completion. You know how you complete it with 100% whatever you get, you beat the game, and then to think that you never died during the entire journey, that always it's like the cherry on top. I know I can definitely defeat Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 without dying. Even on hard mode, I played those games quite a bit. Once you get the controls down, it's not as hard as Super Metroid. But I just feel like the no death run is really the way to complete a Metroid playthrough.
Oh yes, I remember the first couple times I played through Metroid Prime. I was new to like 3D gaming.
Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to get all the controls down.
Oh, you're gonna die a lot of times in your first Metroid Prime playthrough, no doubt about it.
Now, these guys are interesting. The first time I faced them, I didn't have the plasma beam, and I didn't know how to take care of them, because the way I'm doing it right now is the way to take care of them. Just jump and wait till they turn gold.
Yeah.
And then get them.
These guys are infamous for being very tricky, and this is where experience pays off.
I need to get my momentum back up. Stop hitting me with the fucking things.
Projectile throwing action here. I don't know if they're throwing their arms or what. Of course, you do have to kill these mofos to proceed. And Retro Brett using the screw attack is definitely the way to go. Very unpredictable. It's kind of hard to gauge these guys. Much easier once you get one out of the way, that's for sure.
You want to talk about hard? Try to deal with them with the spazer and not knowing how to deal with them. I was just standing on the ground, just shooting away. It took about an hour to get both of them. Now I'm going to have to farm for life.
One game you're going to have to join me for, Retro Brett, is Metroid Zero Mission.
Yeah.
We do have that one here at Trippy HQ, so we'll do that playthrough probably. I'm thinking when we get done with Metroid Prime, maybe we go to that one before hitting up Metroid Prime 2. I think you'll enjoy that one. Obviously, you'll have to sit in as I control that. The end of that game throws some very challenging space pirates at you. Two in particular remind me, of course, of those ones, and they're blocking the very last thing you have to do in the game. This pod that lets you escape before the whole space station blows up. Or not space station, but space pirate mothership.
Planet-ish, whatever you're on.
Well, yeah, they had the space pirates have landed on the planet, so we'll get to that at the time. But the point of the matter is, these space pirates can be challenging at certain times, and they really can. If you don't know how to kill them, they can confuse you.
Well, this is going faster than I thought it would.
Yes, it was nice that we had this space pirate conversation, giving you time to refill your life, much needed. Yeah. Congratulations, because that's where a lot of people would have died in that last part to those two space pirates.
It was challenging the first time.
Ridley looms.
I was actually hoping that I would get those creatures that come out 10 at a time, but such is not the case.
Yeah.
So I'll be happy with what I got.
You got it. And so you're getting ready to face the leader of the space pirates. The head space pirate, the alpha male space pirate, is Ridley. Do you get that feeling that Ridley is one of them? It seems like it's almost like a different species altogether.
He's different than a regular space pirate.
Yeah.
No, get out of the lava.
In Metroid Prime 3, you actually do go to the space pirate homeworld. Did you get to that part?
No, I gave up on it before that.
What made you give up on it?
Because it was stupid. And,
yeah. Something just wasn't right about it. Maybe the motion controls. But here we go.
Well, I didn't like the motion controls that much.
Oh, I despise them.
I actually have small motor control issues, and so for me, the motion controls weren't that great.
I'm with you, and a lot of people agree with us. So here we go, Retro Brett versus Ridley.
Shoot him in the ass right now.
This boss is a little bit more random than any other boss in the series of the game here. Does all kinds of crazy stuff. As I mentioned earlier in the playthrough, it's not a fixed HP that it has. So sometimes it'll die fast, sometimes it'll die very slow. And if you have not that much life left, then it can be annoying. You gotta wait for Ridley to finally start blowing up. Can get quite hectic. But as far as this battle, Ridley's gotten some hits in. Retro Brett seems like...
Oh yeah, I'm losing quite a bit.
Retro Brett has gotten some hits in as well. But almost to about halfway of your life, you're going to have to start avoiding Ridley's deadly tail. You think you got a shot at this one?
It's definitely turning out not as good as I would have hoped.
Ridley's a beast, no doubt about it.
I'm already down to a single row of tanks.
You do have a lot of missiles though, so you can really load into Ridley with that.
Oh, okay.
And there you have it.
Well then.
As I said, it's hard. It's very unpredictable. You know what I mean? You don't know when the hell it's gonna die, and you did a good job. You took him out, and that's all that matters.
That was not as hard as I thought.
So here you receive the Metro.
Well, actually, that's the tank for the baby Metroid.
So the baby Metroid is now free to do whatever it pleases.
Yes.
Probably grow and take over the entire planet. Because as of this point, we have yet to see a single Metroid in the game.
Well, a real Metroid. We've seen those wannabes.
Yeah, we saw the faux Metroids. Not even sure why they put those in the game. What the hell? It's almost like they want to throw you off. Like, oh, those are the Metroids? Because as kids, unless we have a strategy guide, we don't know what the hell's going on. We're like, damn, those guys were a lot harder in the NES game. I don't know what's going on there.
Well,
so where to now, Retro Brett? You conquered all of the major bosses that we know of in the game.
Well, right now we're headed up to one of those great farming places that I was referring to, where a bunch of enemies come out of the ground at once. And we're going to try to get some super missiles here.
Always helpful. Yeah, you're going to need all you can get. I can imagine at this point in the game, it's all weapons on fire at this point. You now have a license to kill.
I don't need to waste my time with you.
They, unlike Ridley, well, maybe much like Ridley, they come back to life after dying. So you have, looks like all of the energy tanks, of course. Do you have all of the missile expansions, Retro Brett?
No, and we were talking yesterday about going back and getting some, but that's going to be pretty hard because remember there was one in North Fair that was right on the top ledge, and it's really, really hard to get, and I'm not going to bother getting it.
Alright, well, maybe after we beat the game we can come back and 100% it. That's one of the good things about the game. You always can go back to the last save. And if we do want to 100% it, perhaps I think we might off camera and then maybe show it off at some point. But that said, we need to conquer and get to the final credits here in Super Metroid. That's the only thing on our minds right now.
Well, I do have all the power bombs.
That's good.
I think I'm missing a super missile and a couple missiles.
Go ahead and save up now that you have defeated Ridley, the most infamous boss in Super Metroid. Well, I guess the entire Metroid
Series.
franchise, series in the history of it.
I always thought those save units reminded me of microwaves.
You think
Yeah,
Samus is getting microwaved?
Yes.
Yes. A quick nuke will do the trick. Helps her
Always.
power up. And in Metroid Prime, where it re-heals her life out all at the same time, that must be an extra strength microwave, or perhaps even a toaster oven.
Yes, actually, let's go this way.
Oh boy. These guys are always a pest. Oh, boulders coming at you. At this point, they probably don't even affect you.
No, I can't kill 'em.
They barely even hit you. Aha. Secret passage leading you back to the course. I know you came across that statue that had all of the bosses from this game, all pretty much combined.
Yes.
I can imagine.
We're actually heading that way.
Yeah, that's where you want to go.
I think I already got this stuff.
And you don't get much of any directions in this game. You know, there is nothing telling you which way to go. Retro Brett, who's defeated the game before, knows where to go, but in your first playthrough, all this is just an intricate maze. You know, they wanted to make a maze of epic proportions, and they did.
These guys are pretty hard, pretty tough.
All they want to do is give you a hug, Retro Brett. They're coming at you with their arms and hands out. Unfortunately, they're venomous, so their hugs can kill you. Power bomb, Kevin Nash style, unlocking a new way here.
Isn't it kind of weird how in this game you get 50 power bombs, but in Prime you get 8?
Yeah, well, you know, they switched it up a little bit. Power bombs never have really been the most useful weapons, despite their badass name.
Well, actually, they can be kind of weapons, but not very good ones.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Smiley.
I hope you know where you're going, Retro Brett. I've said that a lot during this playthrough.
I'm going down here.
What is behind door number 1? Oh, I know this place. So the fire does not affect you, so you can pretty much shit all over many of these obstacles.
Yes, the little foamy, the lava with the foam on top does affect me, but not the regular lava. See, this is my favorite thing to do.
Oh, hell yeah. I would really love for them to just make a new 2D Metroid game. After playing through this game, you know, or we're getting close to defeating it, it makes you think that they could do so much more. For as many people out there that think that this is one of the greatest games of all time, it could still be improved, or at least, you know, maybe make a longer game, make multiple planets, multiple beams, just more power-ups. Everybody loves power-ups. The more you can throw at us. And I'm not just talking about like the plasma beam to the wave beam. I'm talking about beams that act differently altogether. You know, maybe a heat-seeking missile that you can kind of drive for a second. There's just so much untapped gameplay that I feel like they can get from the Metroid series. And they haven't even released a new Metroid game in a long-ass time.
Yeah,
so
I think they kind of lost their nerve with the other M.
it makes me wonder if it's going to be an untapped franchise at the end of the day, if they're never going to get it to reach even higher potentials. Recharging there, Retro Brett.
Yeah, I'm getting some super missiles here.
Alright, you have 21. How many do you max out at?
Right now, 45.
45. Do you need super missiles? I know there's a main boss to face off that every time I've faced off with her, it seemed like super missiles were the ultimate kryptonite bomb against it.
There's nothing we have now that is her kryptonite.
We're still gonna get something else?
Yes.
Interesting. Now, as far as finales are concerned in the Metroid series, the one big thing that stands out to me is the escape sequences. I really like that, and that's something that, of course, they do quite well in this game. We have 2 different escape sequences, but it always just stood out. I think that Samus having to get the hell out of Dodge before the planet or the space station blows up, it always is part of a great Metroid game.
Oh, I agree. It's epic.
Yes. As it is in Metroid Prime as well. And Metroid Prime 2, I suppose, because part of that escape sequence at the end of Metroid Prime 2 deals with you facing off with Dark Samus.
Yeah, in Metroid Prime, there isn't really an escape sequence, is there?
And
You just
Metroid
do
Prime,
it on your own. Yeah, it's automatic.
well, in Metroid Prime at the beginning of the game, when
Yeah.
you lose all your abilities, that's the main escape sequence. They just throw it at the, of course, at the onset of that adventure. The bubble room.
And they give you a shitload of time for that as well.
They do. They do. Do you play the game in hard mode often at all? Because I know it give you a little bit less time for that.
Yes. Until this recently, the playthrough I'm doing now, I've always played in hard.
Yeah. It seems perfect for me. And one of the things about hard mode, and we've talked about this earlier in the playthrough, it seems like hard mode is normal mode in Japan in many ways. Mega Man, Retro Brett's a huge Mega Man fan. Have you beaten all the original Mega Mans?
Except 6. I think I've done all of them.
Yeah.
Number 5 is the easiest shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely be playing through all the Mega Man games here on the channel at some point.
Let's see, we've already done 2. 1 is really, really hard, actually.
Yeah, I think we might have to go back to Mega Man 2. We'll see. We did Mega Man X1 and Mega Man X2 as well.
In Mega Man 1, you know how in the end they make you fight all the bosses again?
Mm-hmm.
Usually in a teleporter type room.
Yeah.
Well, in Mega Man 1, it's not a teleporter room. You just keep going through the room and you come across bosses, and they don't give you any more life.
That's quite annoying. The boss rush, infamous with Capcom games. Hear this tune one last time. Probably my favorite in the entire game.
Alright.
So Super Metroid Retro Brett, if you had to give it a scale of 1 to 10 as far as, your rating, as we get close to the end here, are you going to give it, because the real question is, are you going to give it a perfect 10?
I'll give it a 9.5.
9.5? Okay.
Maybe a 10.
Really can't complain with
I'm
that.
really privy to... oh, that wasn't good. Oops.
No worries.
I'm
Keep
really
heading up.
privy to Mega Man X3, although you don't like it, because that wasn't good either. Because you say the music sucks.
Hell yeah, the music sucks in Mega Man X3. I mean, there's maybe a couple decent tracks, but it's just like heavy guitar. Anyways, that's a conversation for another day. You're not saying that Mega Man X3 is a perfect 10, are you?
No.
And I can see why you kind of like Mega Man X3, as we mentioned before. It does have some backtracking that it is a little bit
Not nearly as much as Metroid. But
yeah, but a little bit more on the level of Metroid, that's for sure. So you are going to get close here to one of my favorite areas in all of the Metroid games, and that's Torian. I really liked the feel of Torian. It's a little bit annoying, as we will witness here.
Yeah, you said I'm gonna get close to it?
Well, you're getting closer to entering Torian.
Oh. Okay, I was gonna say because I'm actually gonna go to it.
Exactly. Well,
Not right now though. I have to beat these monstrous bosses. I'm actually going to a missile expansion.
oh, nice. Torian really stands out to me because it seems a lot more futuristic than the other environments that you visit throughout this game.
This area should look familiar.
Yes, back towards the
Morphing ball.
the very first place you go in the original Metroid game, as they have brought that same exact location here to its, I wouldn't say sequel, because they came out with the Return of Samus Metroid 2 for Game Boy, where you go to another location there, but of course this is the third Super Metroid game, and they bring you back here to where it all started. So this was
It looked like French
Torian.
fries to me.
This was Torian Retro Bread, but I guess this doesn't count as Torian anymore. I mean, well, it does, but it's not really active, you know.
No, it's old Mother Brain state. Did I get this missile? Yep.
Surprised there's no brain fluids all over the place, you know.
Cerebral spinal fluid.
Yes.
You think Mother Brain has CTE?
I don't know. I don't think she does, because it seems like they baby her, you know. She gets to be kept in that tube, really doesn't do too much moving, so to think that she, you know.
Well, she will after I'm done with her.
Yeah, I was going to say, after she gets hit with multiple super missiles, I think that's a different story.
Maybe. Come on.
The Ascent.
Ow.
Oh no. These bastards. Talk
Fuck you
about
and your
terrible
damn French fries that you spew at me.
Oh man, the terrible AI is jump back and forth. Another thing that needs to happen in Metroid, we need to see the space pirates done justice. Perhaps some AI on the same level of some advanced FPSs that we've seen. Halo, maybe. I mean, because the Covenant from Halo, they must have taken some cues here from Super Metroid and the, of course, the Metroid series with their space pirates. So where to now, Retro Brett?
Why don't we save it since we're here?
All right. Well, I say let's go ahead and end off. In the next episode, we will go ahead and vanquish Super Metroid once and for all. Thank you guys so much for being part of the playthrough. We'll catch you guys for the next installment. Until then, as always, stay trippy, my friends.